gonna get arrested when the wagon comes. Give me a pig foot and a bottle of beer.
Okay, we're streaming.
Yeah,
If
sure are.
that's right. If I am just terrible, just tell me to cut it off. We'll just shut it down because
You feeling okay?
I'm so tired.
Do you want to just like do like 5 jumping jacks right now?
No.
Just do it. We'll both do it. I'm serious. Stand up.
I'm not standing up.
You can cover the camera if that's the issue. I'm just saying, like, to shake it off, get the energy flowing.
I have an appointment at 5:00 that I'm not looking forward to.
Is something you'd like to tell our audience about? Let's clap it in.
Okay.
What's up, guys? It's On Fire Tonight with Josh and Tressa. We are here today to talk about Man in the High Castle, Season 2, Episode 5. The episode is called Duck and Cover. This is your one and only warning to duck and cover. And what I mean by that is if you want to watch the episode before we talk about it, we're going to spoil it. So go watch it. Come back. You're back. Welcome back.
You guys, it's not a new show. Go watch it. It's fun.
No. Yeah.
You can watch it on our Twitch channel. Just go.
That's one way to do it. You get to watch us also watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And who wouldn't want to do that? Well, you might want to just like see the thing full screen and not have to deal with us. That's fine.
Weird. You don't want to watch us eat lunch. That's weird.
Our lunchtime viewings.
Mm-hmm. What did you have for lunch, Josh?
I had a salad and a sandwich. What did you have?
I had a great big medium-sized salad. It was delightful.
Great big medium size. That's great.
Really excited about my salad making lately. I don't usually like salads.
Oh, that's great. Good for you.
I mean, they're full of garbage, but they're still salads.
Well, whatever it is that's making you excited about your new salad making prowess, would you like to share it with us? Do you have some tips and tricks?
Yeah, my biggest tip and trick is sesame sticks that have been moistened and soggied by ranch dressing. Delightful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, love it. Maybe a little grape tomato. Maybe I made a garbanzo bean salad a couple days ago and put some of that in there. Maybe I did that. Who knows?
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. A nice mix of things.
Josh, this is the longest Tagomi has ever been in this other reality.
Right? We have only seen Tagomi in this other reality in this episode. We never see him back home in his normal reality.
First time, like, wild. He had to have been there. Well, I guess he was there for a full day. He went and she was like, I'm totally embarrassed, but I gotta go to work.
She uses the word shame, which carries a little bit more meaning than embarrassed.
The difference being none. Okay. So she's like, I'm going to work. There's food in the fridge, Twinkies in the pantry. Knock yourself out. Okay. I don't know what a Twinkie is, but I'm going to go check that shit out.
Yeah, he sees a totally different world in San Francisco where he lives with his living wife. And at the end of the episode, his living son is there.
And who's his wife? I mean, not Tagomi's his son's wife.
Tagomi's got a grandchild, and the daughter-in-law is none other than Juliana. And she's the only one who's happy to see him.
Yeah. Everyone else is like, what the fuck, bro?
Yeah, so the Tagomi in this universe apparently does a disappearing act. Maybe he's on a bender, or maybe he's traveling to other realities, and that's why he's been disappeared. I don't know.
One thing I cannot imagine from Tagomi is him being on a bender. He doesn't seem
Right?
like the bender type.
Well, but here's the thing. We know the Tagomi that we know lost his wife and child.
Right. I would expect that one to go on benders more so than the one that still has his wife and child. And he don't.
Interesting. Yeah, we see like a vacation photo of him and his wife, and she looks happy, but he doesn't.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a picture of a married couple.
He goes to a bookstore at one point during the day, and there's a woman talking about how her fourth grader is doing duck and cover drills. And there's finally a copy of Lolita that he can page through if he would like to. He looks through a book of photos of like the US winning World War II and dropping the bomb on Hiroshima. And he weeps.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Who wouldn't weep? It's horrifying.
Yeah. I wonder if he took that $5 bill that he found.
He found an American $5 bill back in the 60s when people are carrying ban the bomb and no nukes signs. $5. That'll take you places.
Seriously, you get a hotel room with $5. I don't know why we'd get a hotel room, but that's what came to mind.
Well, hello.
Hello, Tagomi. When they first started changing the bills to roughly how they look right now, I had gotten a $5 bill that looked like Tagomi's $5 bill in some change. And then I tried to spend it and no one would take it. They thought it was fake, even though everyone had used that same kind of bill like 3 months earlier.
That's crazy.
I don't know why that's stuck in my head, but it's
That's
just like,
weird.
It's American money. Just take my fucking dollar. What? Yeah.
It was a $5 bill?
Yeah.
Why would anyone think that you would have a counterfeit $5 bill?
Thank you. That's ridiculous. You're not going to just take it to the bank anyway? Just take my money. People.
Strange.
Hmm.
All right. So a lot of things happen in this episode, and we don't get all the answers we would like. I don't get all the answers I would like.
No, never. Come on.
Fucking...
So, yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just going to say the guy that plays George Dixon is Tate Donovan, who I did not recognize from any of those film strips. He looks like a completely different person to me than he does in Juliana's IRL. But another side note, Tate Donovan seemed like one of those guys that was a manufactured celebrity. Like in the 80s, all these commercials were like, can you believe we got Tate Donovan for this movie? And I would be like, I don't know who that is. Just a side note.
Who is Tate Donovan?
Exactly.
No,
That's
I'm asking for real.
He's the guy who played George Dixon.
No, I understand that part, but like, what else should I know him from?
A bunch of stuff from the 80s that were like bit parts. Let me see if I can find exactly. He Clancy in Family Ties. TV movie Not My Kid. He was in Hill Street Blues, North Beach and Rawhide. He was in some Magnum PIs. Oh, he was Robin Masters' nephew in Magnum PI.
Oh, snap. That's as close as you're going to get to a real Robin Masters.
Thank you. He was in Space Camp. That's probably where you know him from best.
I never saw that, I don't think.
You loved Misfits of Science as a child and you didn't see Space Camp?
Yeah, I think that I just missed it.
I don't know what to tell you. Josh.
Is Space Camp a great movie?
No, but that's what you watched when you were a kid and you saw blockbusters on TV. I don't know. All right, so I totally sidetracked this. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't know. So yeah, so Juliana meets up with Dixon like in person in Central Park, and he waves off a bunch of agents that are about to jump her.
Yeah.
Including a guy I thought that was like a Gestapo agent. I guess he's a resistance agent.
Did we see him in a different episode or?
Yeah, do you remember she was getting chased? Like she went to the apartment that George Dixon had previously lived in.
Oh, right. And I didn't know who the fuck. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure that was like the same guy that we saw, like one of the men that we saw today.
Yeah. Yeah, you're probably right. But it makes sense that he's resistance. Because I thought it would be weird that Nazis would be following her in or out of George Dixon's.
Well, it's confusing, right? Because we see a Man in the High Castle film with George Dixon getting killed with resistance fighters. But apparently, according to the Man in the High Castle himself, that same guy in some films is wearing a Nazi uniform. Somehow that dude is the key to whether or not there will be a nuclear devastation in San Francisco. But we're not sure how it all adds up.
No, it's like trying to get the cure from a rabbit. You need to do some processing first.
Longtime listeners, letterheads, and superfans alike will know that Tressa is referencing season 1, episode 10 of Misfits of Science, the Grand Theft Bunny.
Oh, yeah, no, I was actually referencing the entire idea of The Last of Us and substituting a rabbit for Ellie, but yeah, I guess that too.
Okay.
What else happened, Josh?
So many things.
Yeah. Yeah. Juliana's like, hey, George, you're the key. And I don't know how, but I feel like I needed to be here to tell you that you were the key because why else would I know this? So I think I can go now. I think that's my job. My job was just to tell you I'm going to go. But first, give me an impossible job, could you?
He's like, listen, the resistance wants to kill you for what you did, but like they're giving you a second chance to get close to the Smith family and their associates.
No problem. That's it. Why am I being obnoxious?
So Juliana's like, hold on a second. Like that guy sponsored me like when I came here seeking asylum. Like they've only been nice to me. And Dixon's like, friend. You have any idea how many fucking people that guy's killed?
He hasn't killed me, I know that. So go fuck yourself, sir.
Back at the Smith residence, Thomas calls a girl. He found out that she's going to the mixer with somebody else.
What a whore.
He can't even have the conversation with her where he's like, you belong to me, because his little sisters are making fun of him.
Yep. Life with siblings.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. He's growing up to be a fine young man.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Incel. You said incel wrong.
Ed is mad that Frank fucked Sarah.
He's so mad about it.
He's like, dude. Hold on a second, dude. I thought you were just drilling a bomb. You were also drilling that girl.
How dare you?
But Ed has a dark secret all his own.
No. What?
He's on the hook to the Kempetai.
I mean, what did anyone think? They're just gonna let him go? Nah,
Yoshida
that's
dropped
not
by while no one else was home and was like, you report to me. So
okay, but
now
could
we
you
know that
tell?
too. His boss, Keto, is told that Juliana Crane has the protection of Obergruppenführer John Smith.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, oh, well, fuck. How am I going to handle this one? And then he just fucking jets off to New York.
Let me just walk through this portal so I can be in New York immediately. Yo, what up, Smith? I got a question for you.
Yeah, he pops in unannounced. He's like, hey, so you've given Juliana Crane asylum, but the Reich might not have been in possession of all of the information at the time. So you have face-saving opportunity here if you want to
That's
work with
cool.
me.
We interrogate her. It's fine. We trust her. She's telling the truth. You can go now.
He's like, well, you might not know that she met with the man in the high castle. And
Uh,
Smith is like, what now? And then he's like, oh, wait, can I take a look at that medal behind your desk? He's like, go nuts, dude. So Keto walks up to this medal, and it's a US medal for his service in the Solomon Islands. And he and Keto were both in the Solomon Islands during that battle.
I assume it went better for one than the other.
Yeah, well, if they're giving out medals on one side,
Is because they participated, because everyone gets a participation trophy now.
that's
Right?
only for Confederate soldiers.
Nice.
You don't get a participation trophy for losing unless it's the Confederacy.
That's correct.
Personal digression aside, John Smith is like, hey, you knew before you ever walked in here that I was going to refuse your offer. Why are you really here? And then we don't find out the answer to that. Keto leaves, and Smith tells Raider, destroy every trace of this meeting. He was never here.
So whenever something like that happens in a show, I assume that you have the inside track because you see like an eyebrow lift or something and you're like, oh, I know exactly what they were talking about. So you don't know either?
I don't know.
All right.
What could it be?
I don't know. I have no friggin' idea. He already like played his cards with Man in the High Castle, so I don't know what else there could possibly be.
Are they now allied in some fashion?
You know what? I bet.
How? Okay, well, here's the question. What would benefit them both? And how, like, does Keto really want Juliana Crane back at all costs? Because he's not going to get that.
No.
What else does he want? He serves the Empire.
Yeah,
He
but
was ready to die to protect the Empire.
And he does not want the Empire to build a bomb. He doesn't want to go to war again because he knows that the Empire would lose. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because he's not going to double cross the Empire just so they don't go to war.
We get some much needed backstory on Joe Blake.
Oh boy, do we ever.
So Joe Blake's conception was part of the Lebensborn Project, which is some Nazi program where like the super duper SS guys and appropriately chosen women of Aryan descent.
Oh, they were Aryan? Cool.
they like fuck in this asylum. There's like a decommissioned nursing home that's basically like It is reminiscent to me of the asylum where Freddy Krueger was conceived.
Maybe he was conceived there.
Right?
I'm saying. Wait, what? Okay.
So in Freddy Krueger, in Nightmare on Elm Street, his mother was a nun who was raped like a million times by a million psychopaths. Do you remember that? That was in, I think, the second one or the third one. I forget.
Yeah, they go into detail, I think, in a later one. Like a flashback, but not. Okay, anyway.
Anyway,
nuns.
Joe Blake gets to see this abandoned building with like broken down cribs and Reichsminister
with dolls in them still.
Right. Dolls just chilling.
Yeah.
Nobody's been to this place in a long, long time, but apparently the offspring of the Lebensborn program are still seen as the fucking chosen ones.
Even though they grew up in the States, gross.
Well, this one was stolen away by his mother and grew up in the States, but he's the only one that we know of.
What year did he say that Joe was born? Do you remember?
I think I was taking a bite of my sandwich right when he said that, because I thought he said 1975, and I was like,
I thought he said 1935, and that seemed way too early.
All right, so it's 1962 in this, right? I think. How old is Joe? 30 years old?
If that.
25? Doesn't matter.
Nope.
Doesn't matter.
But you know what? I'm not doing math right now. Fuck you.
Yeah, so Joe Blake was born a child of this super secret Hitler program, a child of this high-ranking Reichsminister, and Elsa, the woman who stole him away because the program sucked and she was not wrong.
No.
The father even concedes she was not wrong to do this, but you've been told lies. And he's like, my whole life was a lie. And he's like, no.
Yeah, maybe a little, but
no. But then here we have like the underpinning of this entire show. We hear it over and over again. Your actions are what define you. You are the man I know you to be because you are what you do, right?
Right.
So all of the choices he's made in life, the paths he's chosen, that's who he is. And his father is proud of him, proud to call him his son, and trusts him. What? I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all.
I know, I'm not saying anything.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Also, George Dixon shows Juliana how to tune into pirate radio from the neutral zone.
Yeah,
listen to rock and roll.
That's right. She's never heard anything like it before.
It wouldn't exist.
Exactly. It hasn't. It didn't. Except
it only exists in the neutral zone.
Because that's illegal everywhere else. That's crazy. It's like...
Anyway, Frank goes off to see his new girlfriend, Sarah. She's like psyched to see him. Gary, who wanted to murder his original girlfriend, is like, hey, great job, man. You're doing great. Lemel Washington is like, hey, I got to get out of here. Hang on to this harmonica for me. Weird. Whatever. Yeah. Frank, Sarah, and Gary like march off in the woods to a memorial for Karen Vecchione, and now he's one of them.
One of us. I thought for sure that they were going to murder him in the forest. which I could see it.
I mean, he's just killed for them.
Eh.
Yeah, the resistance kind of sucks in a lot of ways. So
They're
I'm not
bad
really
at their
clear on what
jobs.
their deal is. I mean, Gary wanted to kill Juliana,
Uh-huh.
and he's bad at his job. Like, I don't know how he failed to kill this woman that was in the trunk of his car.
Literally shooting fish in a barrel. Bruh.
Anyway, Juliana got asylum in the Reich. She's having pot roast over at the Smith household. The kids are like, hey, I heard that they eat dogs and cats over in the Pacific states. And she's like, well, maybe cats. Joking. I'm
Just
joking.
kidding.
But she's never had sauerkraut before. And they're like, you've
No.
never had sauerkraut before?
Pickled cabbage.
Right?
I mean, that's
Which,
pretty much what it is.
yeah.
Mhm.
She might know it from its other delicious form as kimchi.
Yes. Come on, Juliana.
I don't know why she wouldn't tell them all about the delicious kimchi that they're missing out on. Rub it in their stupid Nazi faces.
We have flavor where I'm from. What else happens in this episode?
Oh, so wait, just bouncing back for a second to that scene with Keto and Smith, where Keto is like, why do you have this US medal? And he's like, oh, that's to remind me of the consequences of the failure of command. What is that about?
That's about him finding an excuse to display that medal. I don't think he believes. I think he may have at one point been like, you know what? I have to believe this, so it will excuse the fact that I'm now a Nazi. You know what I'm saying? He's got to have a reason to be a Nazi. He can't just be a Nazi after being an American soldier. He has to have an excuse.
Right. Well, I mean, isn't that like, you know, so many times when they brought Nazis to trial after the war, they were like, I was just following orders. I was just following orders. I was just following orders. Here we have a man. First, he was following US orders. Then the US gets conquered. Now he's following orders once again.
Well, these are better ones, though, I'm sure.
I mean, he hitched his wagon to the newest boss.
That or be killed, I guess.
Nice to have options.
Hmm.
Oh, Joe Blake, after crying, is like, all right, I'm going to stick around for a few days. And they go back to Heusman's house, and Heusman has this like matriarchal maid lady named Sylvia that clearly cared for Joe when he was a baby, because she grabs his face and is like, Heil Hitler.
Yikes. Yeah, what was that? Is it honestly just a caretaker, or is there something
Yeah, I think so.
bigger?
I think that that's like a woman that hasn't seen him since he was a baby.
Okay. I mean, yeah, absolutely. I could see that, but I didn't know if they were maybe implying that they were related or something.
Oh, I don't think so. I think she's just
Caretaker.
the longtime nanny and maid and whatever of this household.
I get it.
I think.
No, you're right. I just sometimes I feel like they like rub it in a little thick, two different metaphors, and like I don't know if they're trying to say something else or if I'm just used to that meaning something else in other contexts.
I don't understand what you mean.
I don't know. I don't know. It's fine.
Okay. So Joe calls Obergruppenführer John Smith from Berlin and is like, hey, did you know that I was Lebensborn?
Hey,
And
I know you're having dinner with my girlfriend, but did you know that? Yeah, I knew. We were waiting to surprise you with it. It was going to be a fun party, Joe. But hey, maybe I could get something out of it. Right? Right, Joe? Joe, are you still there? Joe!
that's not how the conversation went at all.
It 100% went like that. Are you kidding me? Joe was like, did you know about this? He's like, yeah, I knew. And were
Okay.
you doing it for what?
No.
What? He totally knew. What are you talking about?
Yes, he was like, yes, I knew. He wasn't like, oh, you're dragging it out of me. And I only want to get advantages from you.
He said,
Joe accused
I'd
him
be
of only helping
lying.
him for that reason.
Right. And he was like, yes. And he was like, I'd be lying if I said that wasn't 100%.
No, no. What he says
What?
is, Joe, you're important to me.
But also,
What does that mean? That's different. That's not the same.
he totally said, yeah, I could have gone a little bit. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit, Joe, a little bit. You could have maybe helped my career a little bit, maybe a little bit. But mostly I just care about you, Joe. But maybe just a little bit, you could have helped my career a little bit.
Okay. What you're saying doesn't make sense if that were the case.
That's why he hung up on him.
Okay, so John Smith put Joe Blake directly in harm's way multiple times, risking his life. He is apparently precious cargo that should have been looked after. Right?
But he also needed to prove himself. And he couldn't do that unless he was given those kind of jobs. And he also knew. Are you saying he didn't even know?
No, I'm saying that he absolutely knew, but you're characterizing it differently than I think they were.
If he knew that his job would be in danger just by giving Joe those jobs, he gave Joe those jobs knowing that he could complete them and prove himself.
Joe could have died
But
every
he
single
didn't.
day that he was out there.
We all
How
could.
would that have worked out well for John Smith?
No.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
what
think
I'm
so.
saying. Like, if he knew about it, he knew his origin, him giving Joe those jobs, if he died in any of those jobs, Smith would be dead. So he's not going to give Joe those jobs thinking that he can't do them. He's going to give Joe jobs that he knows he can do well or whatever.
There's no reason to believe that Joe would be able to do those jobs, having never done anything like that before. He was plucked from obscurity.
Right. But Smith is not going to give him those jobs thinking, well, he could die, whatever. Because if he were to think like that, he might as well just be like, well, I could die, whatever. He's not going to give Joe Smith a hard job that could kill him.
Joe Blake.
Yeah, he's not going to give Joe Blake a job that he thinks he could easily get murdered in. He's going to give Joe Blake a job that he thinks he could easily do.
This relationship is confusing to me because if John Smith's whole thing with Joe Blake is to advance his own career, then the real thing to do is keep Joe Blake safe no matter what. And then make it look like he did something great or impressive without actually putting him in any real danger.
Yeah,
right?
That would be the ideal. Absolutely. But
So
John
there's
Smith
something
is
else
an
going
idiot.
on here. I think.
Of course there is. There's always something else going on.
Meanwhile, Lemuel Washington goes to visit the man in the high castle, and the man in the high castle is like, oh, hey, grab like a handful of film canisters because we are torching all of the rest.
Yeah,
And
but you
Lemuel Washington's like, what about the rest of them? And he's like, they're all up here. He's memorized the films, and now he is the walking archive of these alternate reality films.
you like glazed over the best parts of that scene.
Talk to me. Tell me.
Lem was like, "Hey, I'm here. What's up?" And Man in the High Castle's like, "Yeah, can you go grab those films? Then we'll just get going. There's a pile right next to the door." And he goes to get him, and Lem is like, "Hey, smells kind of strong in there." Yep, smells like new beginnings or whatever the fuck he said. Beautiful. He wasn't just like, "Yep, we're gonna burn everything down. Let's go." It was like, you know what? Yeah, because that's what new beginnings smell like. And then I'm going to throw my cigarette into this barn and it's going to go up in a matter of seconds. Delightful. You look so angry with me.
I'm not angry with you.
See, you look even madder now that you said that.
Huh?
Yeah, so they burned all the film. Except for maybe 6, 7. I don't know how many are there.
Yeah, a handful of precious ones.
Which they put in a wooden box in the back of a truck. That would terrify me. Put a tarp over that or something. Put a shovel on it.
All right, if you're Tagomi
Mm-hmm.
and you have managed to meditate into this other world
Mm-hmm.
where your family's alive, but they are not really happy to see you.
Yeah.
Are you ever going to go back to the one that you left behind?
Why? Well, that's tough because the one you're in now, your home country has been bombed and it's traumatic. But also, I don't know, are things easier for Japanese in America in 1962 in that reality?
He sees racist shit on the American TV.
Yeah. It's commonplace. It's everywhere. But if he goes back to his own reality, there's the anxiety of world war happening every 5 seconds that no one knows about except for him and a few other people. And his wife isn't there or kids. So which is worse? I don't know. I mean,
well, there's also the threat of nuclear annihilation, and the Cuban Missile Crisis is a thing that's happening right then and there.
that's true.
It seems like either way, the threat of nuclear annihilation hangs overhead.
It's just the 60s, baby.
It's just the 60s.
What would you do?
I don't know, because he's got a whole life that he left behind.
Yeah, like
He wasn't psyched about that life.
no, not
in
at
many
all.
ways.
He
But
seemed absolutely
here,
miserable.
it's like, does he have a counterpart in this reality that's actually like AWOL somewhere?
That's
Could
a
the
great
two of them
question.
meet up? If one blips in, does the other one get forced out? What if he, like, by virtue of being there, is responsible for the absence of the other one?
That's the quandary.
I don't know. I
I
mean, I
don't
don't know if
know.
it works like that. Maybe you could have multiple guys, like 2, 3, 4, just start stacking them up, start a barbershop quartet.
Oh, that would be great.
Cool.
I don't I don't know anything about anything, but I don't think I'd want to go back to my own reality. I feel like if anything else, I could try and repair what I did have with my wife and son.
Oh, this is like how everyone can fix somebody else's problems, but they can
Mhm,
only fuck up their own lives.
mhm,
So if
mhm.
he blips into this reality, he's like, oh, I can fix the other Tagomi's fuck ups because they're not my fuck ups.
Right. I'm a smarter man.
That's interesting. But does he have a right to?
Probably not. But if you're going with what you want and like emotionally need, it's going to be your wife and kid and not going back to the other place. I would think.
Could be.
I mean, honestly, the other Tagomi that's fucking up, I'd be like, well, me, I fucked up. I'm going to have to go learn that lesson somewhere else while I fix this. And it gets very confusing and I will just have to deal with it. Not me, but the other me.
I'm going to teach that other me a lesson.
I'm such an asshole. Not me, the other one.
Oh my fucking God. I just realized that at the beginning of the episode, Tagomi changing channels on the TV, that's like changing realities.
I don't know if it's that deep.
I think it is that deep. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's not
Maybe.
that deep. Maybe it's
I
not
don't
that deep.
know. I mean, we got to see a great big fat Salisbury steak on a black and white TV.
Right? We got to see lots of mayonnaise and mustard jars, some
Oh,
Chef Boyardee.
yeah. That pantry and refrigerator was filled with white people food. And I
Just
don't
canned
mean like
goods
just disgusting white people food, except for the one dish in the middle of the fridge that looked like,
that had a fork left in it.
and nothing covering it. It's like,
Yeah, it was like leftover raviolis.
that's going to taste like everything that's in that refrigerator right now. Disgusting.
Maybe there's some fresh Arm& and Hammer keeping everything good.
Yeah, it's going to taste like that too. It looked like he was about to take a bite of it though. It's like, well, that's not my place.
Yeah, so what's going on? Like he walks into other Tagomi's life and sees like their divorce papers lying on the table.
Yeah, he hasn't been around.
There are a lot of unanswered questions, and it makes me want to watch more. This show is great at leaving cliffhangers.
Yeah, like, come on, you
It
guys.
actually advances the plot
Mhm.
and leaves cliffhangers. So good.
I mean, masterful.
This is a fucking well-structured show. I really like it.
Hmm. And we don't get filler episodes either.
No, there are no filler episodes.
There's no like recap episodes where they're just like a soap opera and like, remember last time when this happened? It's all just like, let's keep going. Remember that? Because we're going to go and we're going to take it further. Yay. Thank you.
Sometimes we don't have a ton of advancement on an individual character, but we don't just check in with them for no reason.
Yeah, for sure. That's fine.
Yeah, that is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very interested to know what's going to happen with Smith and Keto's new alliance or whatever.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What did George Dixon say what they wanted Juliana to do aside from just get close to him? Because she's like, I'm not killing anyone, right?
Right. It's clear that Smith is the target, but the target of what exactly, we don't know.
Okay.
Um, oh, we see Helen popping pills.
Yeah, she is. It's the 60s and she's a housewife. Of course she was.
Mother's little helper.
Wash it down with some whiskey because that's how you do it. I hope she doesn't have a baggie because then she might forget how many she took and never mind. Josh, is that all the time we have?
Oh, fucking hell. That is all the time we have.
Oh, God damn it. We will catch up and watch some more episodes, and we will see you next time.
Be sure to like and